David Rosen here with Miles O'Brien, space geek and recovering space journalist.
There you go. That's it. I like that. Yeah.
So I'd love to hear you tell us a little bit about what you've been working on over the last year in terms of social media to bring space to the masses.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, we've been doing these webcasts on spacerightnow.com, and we had no money, we didn't marketing budgets, anything like that. And so what we discovered very quickly is that, with a few tweets to the right people, you're going to find your audience very quickly. That's the beauty of social networking, is with this exponential nature of friends telling friends, that if you get to the right group, you can get to the choir. The choir knows instantly, and then the beauty of it is the choir has friends too, and they start bringing other people into the tent. And so what we discovered the last shuttle mission, our cumulative audience was right around 200,000 people in 180 countries. So it's taken off there, and what that tells me is there's an audience out there that really wants to bore in on a subject, an inch wide, 500 miles deep, right? And that's what you can't do in mainstream media. So it's very exciting.
Let me ask you, a lot of people say that because of the mainstream media has declined, that we're actually going to be a more information-poor society. Do you think that that's true?
I totally disagree. I think that it's all out there. I think the tricky part is how you find it, but the social media allows that, because really what happens is you form these virtual communities that are actually taking the place of the editors at CNN. They're actually sifting through the information and helping people understand what's good, what's not, what's true, what's not. And so it's kind of like an editorial board of the commons, and it works. And there is so much expertise out there that hasn't been untapped, and frankly, a lot of what you saw on mainstream media was just a few little people that were in the familiar Rolodex and were frequently put on television, and they were, that was deemed to be the expert opinion. There's a lot more to the world and a lot more expert opinion out there that was never touched by mainstream media. And I think, frankly, when the dust settles in all this, we're going to be better for it.
One last question. In the 60s and the 70s, the space age was personified by Life magazine and Walter Cronkite, and it inspired generations of people to get interested in space and technology. Do you think that social media or the state of the media is going to keep that going, or is that part of the reason that people feel less connected?
Social media is the only thing that's going to save that spirit, and we still have to work on, and this is a great example of how NASA is trying to do this. It's trying, but it's a cumbersome bureaucracy, a lot of rules, and there's a lot of pent-up enthusiasm, passion, interest, and energy at NASA that needs to get across the wall. We still have to work on that. And I'm working on the NASA Advisory Council, and that's my top priority right now, is to figure out a way to capture that energy, allow people in the trenches at NASA to tweet freely without being worried that public affairs is going to get upset with them, controlling the message. And I'm telling you, if we can unleash that and allow that dialogue to really become healthy, I think you can really engage the public as it was back in the space race days. I really do. I think it's very powerful, and it is the absolute salvation of our space program. I think so.
Well, Miles O'Brien helping to lead the revolution of bringing space to the social media.
Good to meet you.